Hello friends, hope you all are doing well tonight. Rokib, thank you for the follow, really appreciate it. Nice streaming guy, I actually love this game and we really should play together. I mean on Discord. Well, if you want to join my Discord, I do have a Discord server you can join. We do play with people in the community sometimes. So feel free to hit me up there. And welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you all for stopping by and coming by to hang out. We're going to be doing some delves tonight. This is the new content, the new type of instanced content in War Within. And I think we've done a little bit of it on stream, but we're going to be focusing a little bit on it tonight. We're going to be working on finishing leveling up our companion, Bran Bronzebeard. I think I've got him at like level 13 right now. We'll see if we can max him out tonight. And then I also want to do some testing in level 8 delves on the beta. I want to see how those are feeling, so that we can be prepared for next week, because that's where we're going to be getting our most reliable source of good gear upgrades next week. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Hey everyone. Where is WoW? There it is. Sometimes there's a delay on it loading up, but there it is. So I figured I'm going to start with these two that I still have quests for. I have done them all, but I think I did these two before I got a quest, or like there was a quest inside or something. But we're going to start with the Spiral Weave and then the Underkeep. And we'll maybe just kind of do like a world tour and hit them all up, kind of get a feel for all of them. Maybe not quite all of them, but we're going to do these as Prot and Fury. We'll be switching between the two, getting a little bit of a taste of what's in store for us. And like I said, we'll also be doing some on the beta, because we can actually do level 8 delves on the beta, and that's kind of what I'm interested in checking, like the relative difficulty of. So buckle up everybody, we've got some riveting delve content. It should be kind of fun. I've actually enjoyed them a lot more than I thought I was going to. So in this one, there's like these webs on the floor, and you don't want to stand in the webs. But if we talk to this guy, we get a little grappling hook so we can fly around the room. Or we can just be a warrior in heroic leap. So we'll start with that. Try and make use of Bran's traps here that he throws on the floor for us. So there's several ways that you can get experience for Bran. He gets a little bit when you kill mobs. He gets like, I don't know, he's getting like 3 for the smaller ones, 12 for the bigger ones in here. Hey Baktash, how's it going? A night of long dungeons and caves. Long quests and caves, yeah, basically. We'll make some fun out of it. And I do want to, I was saying earlier, I'm going to do some on the beta too, because we can actually do level 8 delves on the beta. Get a feel for how those are going to look. Although I ran one earlier, and I think there's something funny going on with Bran's scaling on the beta. Maybe. It's like his rapid fire on live for me is hitting for like almost 40k on average for his normal hits. And on beta, it's fluctuating a lot depending on what level of delve I'm doing. So there's something funny going on with the scaling there. Or at least potentially funny going on with the scaling there. But we can take a look at that and maybe try and get an idea of like how hard are these going to be next week? How easy are they going to be next week? Figure those things out together. And I do want to make a video out of this for the channel, going beyond just a little bit of the stream. Hey, how's it going, Loyal to the Sea? We're doing some delves tonight. My warrior is getting really geared up. We're at 588 item level here. I know some people are a little bit higher, but this is kind of like as high as I can actually push my warrior this week, I believe. So we're making progress where we can. I think over the weekend we'll put a little bit more time into the Death Knight, because we can make some good progress there. But leveling Bran up, I think, is going to be helpful next week, even if it's just a little bit. Be helpful in getting our tier 8 delves done. So, I want to take care of that. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good evening so far. Let's see, we got a... Looks like I chose the wrong path to go down over there. I wasn't looking at the mini-map. So the first stage that we're doing here, we're collecting all of these explosives. And the side of the hallway that I chose to go down had 0. There's like 3 on the other side. So, yeah, so I was mentioning, like, there's several ways you get experience for branding these. Just like killing mobs gets a little bit of experience. And then also there's like these chests and these mislaid curiosities that drop, and those all give him experience too. So we'll be trying to pick as many of those up as we can. I think once we get him up to level 15, we'll probably call it for live delves, and we'll go work on some on the beta. Backed up gearing a bit, just so M0 and normal have some difficulty on Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see how they're tuned. I do have a few pieces that like wouldn't get replaced by, at least immediately, by M0 gear, right? Like my shield, obviously. Weapon, I could get, like, weapon in my sack, sack brood, I could get like equivalent item level, but not an immediate upgrade. We're just gonna pull all this stuff. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Obviously I took streaming off last night. Had a nice restful evening. Just hung out with some guildies and chilled a little bit. Like over the weekend we are going to be helping some guildies gear up a good bit. But tonight we delve. Yeah, the enemies in here are really not too complicated. A lot of them have like 1 or 2 mechanics. We got a little puzzle here. I'm making this way more complicated than it needs to be. There we go. Hey, how's it going, Soul? Don't get too exciting, but I'm fishing tonight. Nice. Riveting. I actually enjoy fishing in WoW sometimes. It can be a nice, like, definitely a nice change of pace compared to other things. It's not something I do all the time, but I usually at least level it and, like, we'll do some fishing at max level. So I respect it. It's a decent way to make some gold right now. Fish are pretty expensive. At least they were when I looked at the auction house last week, I think. Turn them into fish fillets for feasts for raid. Nice. Yeah, I haven't started making feasts yet, but I did level up my cooking. And I made a bunch of hearty food for myself, which I think ends up being an ingredient for one of the feasts, but I don't have a recipe for feasts yet. So I can do the hearty feast, but I don't have like either of these ones. Hey, what's up, Gamma? Hope you're doing well. I did make, I think like 20 hearty Belladar's bounties. So I have some food that persists through death, which will be nice when we're doing early Mythic Plus dungeons in a week or so. Also for raid next week. Yeah, the tier 3 delves are pretty easy. I've heard some classes are struggling a little bit, but I don't know, at least for warrior, like, they're super, super easy. B-Rob, thank you for the follow. That is our follower goal of 190 hit. Nice. Yeah, we're just out here doing Prot Warrior stuff tonight. Out here in Delves. We don't really need to gear up necessarily much more on the Warrior, but... yeah, thank you for the assist. Thank you for the follow. So that's where we came from, so we don't want to go that way. Lots of mushrooms and fish for the feast I make. Yeah, you'll want to farm a lot of those yourself, right? Yeah, I saw you linked the pattern there. The mats on the feast are kind of crazy. I think Tarek shared like a screenshot of like a spreadsheet of everything that you need, and there's just like there's so much that you need. Hey, how's it going, Tiny Thor? Hope you're doing well. The stream's going well this evening. It's going pretty well. We're only about 15 minutes in. It's been pretty good so far. Happy to see you here. We're out here doing some delves right now. Working on leveling up our companion here, Bran Bronzebeard. Takes 10 of one fish to get one of the 2 fish for the feast. Yeah, the way the ingredients work are kind of interesting. Because you have these like... That's mining, not fishing. Very different. You have these like prepared ingredients. So you can use like any meat to make the portion steak. And then the steak is an ingredient in foods. I think the feasts are... Yeah, so this one uses the fish. And then... Like, I have a ton of the steaks. But yeah, we'll work on those eventually. I think one of the recipes drops from... Like, they drop from, like, a couple of the world events, which I have already done this week on my warrior, so... I think we're gonna have to wait until at least next week to get those. I think some people in the guild already have them, though, so... 200 fish fillet per piece. Have 3k steaks, but the fish is like, yeah. And getting those hearty feasts for raid is actually going to be really nice. Essentially give like everyone a flavor pocket. Because the hearty food, so basically you combine like multiple foods, and it works for feasts as well, into like one food item that persists through death. Which is nice for a couple of reasons. First of all, cooking is like actually really easy to level. Like it's not expensive to level, and it just takes like, I don't know, probably 20 minutes or so. And then you don't have to either get really lucky and get a flavor pocket or buy a flavor pocket. And you don't have to use it as an embellishment on one of your items, so you just kind of get it, which is nice. Alright, so Bran is like super close to this treasure might do it actually. Nice. Bran is now level 14. How's it going, Robin? Hope you're doing well. We are working on delves tonight. I don't know where Bran's going, but I don't think that's actually the exit to the delve here. He just wanted to do a victory lap after leveling up, I guess. Good, thank you. I'm doing well. Having a good night so far. Yeah, I've got one more level to get on Bran. And then the cap for him right now is level 15. And then once the season starts, he'll be able to go up to level 60. But that's not until next week. But I think having him at 15 will just make delves go a little bit easier next week. I don't think it's necessary by any means, but you know, we're getting close to being out of like things to do on the warrior, so I want to just like check off whatever I can. Trying to make my weapon on DK, but leveling smithing, running the issue of needing that tinderbox thing to level. Oh, you mean like the ever-burning forge, or do you mean like the super expensive like tinderbox drop? It's still max tier 3. Yeah, it's max tier 3 right now still. Oh, I think I found like 2 of those, but I managed to do recipes that didn't need them for the most part. I actually did max out my blacksmithing level today, so we're at 100. Had to spend quite a bit of gold on some patron crafting orders to get there, but we did. We made it. This is what my tree looks like so far. I'm trying to get all of the armor smithing patterns, and then obviously I went all the way into shields first. And then we'll just go into them one by one, kind of as we decide what we're going to build and what we need. Okay, let's see. I want to go do this delve because we have a quest there. You get them from the little treasures in Hollowfall? I think that's where I got them too, but I ended up not getting too many of them. Okay. Yeah, one thing I do want to compare is like what Brand's damage is at level 15 on live compared to what he was doing on beta. Because like, I don't know, something is very, very off with the scaling. Or at least something is, something weird might be going on with the scaling. But I spent hours fishing and mining in the zones. Yeah. So you probably collected a lot more treasures there than most of us. Auto Insidious, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We got another puzzle here. Okay. I'm gonna put this one here and swap those two, and then easy. Yeah, welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming by and hanging out. Let's see. Guess we gotta go this way. Oh, sorry, Auto Frost. I missed your. It looks like you have the same icon, so it might be you on over on YouTube. My item level is 588, 0.88. So lots of 8s in there. The only thing that I could potentially upgrade is my crafted belt is only a rank 4, but I think there's a bug with the recrafting because it currently doesn't require any reagents to recraft it. But because it doesn't require any reagents, I can't increase the item level of it. It's like stuck at rank 4. And I don't have any crests left over, so I can't like craft a new one to try and go for rank 5. If I go to like recraft and then select my belt, it's like locked in at rank 3 to rank 4. And like there's no reagents being used, which feels really, really strange to me. I think that if I was able to get those 4 item levels on that, it would take me up to 590, but I'm not too bothered about it. I just thought it was kind of funny that it's stuck there. I've kind of maxed out like as much blacksmithing as I can. But yeah, we're pretty much maxed out on the warrior here, so I'm just trying to do the things that I can do to get a little bit of progress for next week. And then I think on other nights this week, I'll be spending some more time on my alts. Let's see, is there any treasures in here? Is that no, it's not a chest. Just trying to collect all we can. Help out our old friend Brand Bronzebeard as much as we can. Oop, there's a chest here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but like this bar up here, it's hard to see because it's like black on black in the background. That's his experience bar. Let's see. Just disable these to free these guys. Also, it's not showing us the objective on the side of the map here. I think there's an LVUI bug. Objectives are getting hidden, so I need to update my add-ons. Usually gets fixed after a reload, so we'll do that in a sec here. Yeah, let's reload because it's kind of important to know what's going on in these things. You're 580 as well. Nice. Right on, right on. Yeah, that made it reappear. So we're rescuing prisoners. We got 7 more to rescue. Okay, we'll just walk through that, I guess, because it's following us. And take a look at Brand's power right now. So one thing I noticed is he has his Explorer's Ammunition Journal buff that gives him like a stacking 5% damage buff, and it's ranked 5 out of 50 right now. So I think like every level you get, he's just going to be that much stronger once we're heading into more difficult delves. I think, I'm not sure when he starts getting that or like what the ramp up is. We'll keep an eye on that. It went to level 5 when he hit level 14 earlier, because it was level 4 previously. And then one thing I'm unsure about is like what he actually scales with. I think he scales to some degree with like your character's item level, but I'm not sure exactly how that works. Is this guy not? What do I need to do to free this guy? I hope he's not just bugged. There's a chest over here. I think this chest is actually like a mimic, because it's got like the voidy purple stuff coming out of it. Yeah, that's what I thought. And fuck this void bolt. This does a pretty big amount of damage. not sure what I need to do to free that guy. But if we actually do need to free him, then we may have just broken this delve. Oh, okay. That freed him. Okay. Don't know what all these pylons in here are.
Watch your step.
I'm guessing he's gonna like change the direction of them at some point. Okay. Probably don't want to be standing like exactly between any two of them.
Watch your step. Interrupt.
All right, easy enough. Go collect our treasure. Let's see. Brand got a little over 3,000 experience from that, I think. Plus if we get any from the treasure room here. Sometimes there's like, yeah, maybe that's not one. Sometimes they have like mislaid curiosities in the room here. Yeah, there's one over here in the corner. So I'm gonna collect those because they usually have a decent chunk of experience for him. Alright, we'll take the LevoBot 7000 and exit the delve here. I'm gonna go turn the quest for these two in. Yeah, I was having a chat with some guildies in Discord earlier today, and there was not necessarily confusion, but like some people were unaware of like what they should be doing for delves and like how to prioritize them. So I'm gonna make a video talking about that tonight. Getting some good testing done. Up-to-date testing is gonna be helpful for that, I think. So we turn this one in at the Weaver. 280 gold for that. That's pretty nice. Most of the quests just give like 30 gold at most. And then we got this one to turn in over here. And I believe once I turn this delve quest in, that's like officially every quest other than the campaign that I will have completed. So we got Lore Master the other day, but then there were like a few quests left over. Like weren't a part of it, I guess. Glad they lowered the number of delves needed for the vault from 12 to 8. That is nice. That is really nice. You're going to want to do like as many as you have keys for the first week. Which I think could be up to 15. Like I have 11 right now. And then we'll get 4 more next week, of course. So Now there's only 4 Bountiful delves a day, and once you do it on Bountiful, it will turn into a regular delve after that. But we'll go do this one. We're not gonna spend a key on it, obviously, but may as well just mix things up a little bit. I guess that's a tip. So like once we get into season 1 next week, like you'll have to go through level 4, 5, 6, and 7 delves before you can get to level 8, right? You want to make sure that you're doing that in delves that are not Bountiful delves, because if you complete one on a 3, you won't be able to go back and do it at an 8 later and get the Bountiful chest. So be aware of that for next week. I don't think they need to start adding new Allied Race stuff to the pre-release. I'd love to make an Earth Chami, but I just cannot be bothered to level again after release. Yeah, I hear you on that. Hey, Thomas, what is my favorite tank going into Season 1? That would be Prot Warrior. I think, you know, on the beta, I wasn't really vibing with Paladin or Demon Hunter, but I actually enjoy leveling them quite a bit. I don't think there wasn't any tank that I like didn't enjoy while I was leveling, but Prot Warrior is definitely my favorite by a pretty decent margin, I would say. And then Blood DK would be second, and third is kind of a toss-up between Brewmaster and Druid for me, just depending on what mood I'm in. I'm gonna need to find an air bubble here. Was that? Oh, you know what? I think I was supposed to talk to someone at the start of the delve back there. Yeah. Let me go back and talk to the Vetivarian or something like that. We'll need to do another reload so that we can actually get the objectives tracked again. I really need to just update LVUI. It's a really annoying bug. There we go. Yeah, I gotta speak to the Niffin. There we go. And I think that will cause the air bubbles to start spawning. Or, oh no, wait, hold on. Did I see a diving helm here? I did, but you can't click on it. Okay. Yeah, that'll cause the air bubbles to start spawning. Kind of weird that they don't spawn until you talk to that guy, but they are kind of important for this one, since it is technically underwater. We'll need a let's kill these guys before we try to open up the Niffin dude. Get him out of his little bubble there. We're gonna need an air bubble pretty soon too. Don't actually see one over here. I'll have to go back to this one. I was doing one of these last night and I almost drowned. I wasn't paying attention to the breath meter at all, and then I hear Brand say something like, "You need to get one of the need to get to one of those bubbles or something." And I looked up and I had just like a sliver of blue left. I was almost taking drowning damage. There's a curiosity over here. You get a nice little speed boost after you get one of these bubbles too. It's like 100% for a few seconds. We'll pull moderately big over here. Ooh, look, Brand face bold. Classic hunter. Oh, we need to attack some of these Niffin. Guess the Cobus do raise their fallen foes to fight for them. Couple curiosities over here. We're getting a little bit low on breath. There's a chest over here, so I want to grab that. There's an achievement to grab like every chest in every delve, so I don't see any bubbles. Uh-oh. We're just gonna have to jump ahead. Ooh, just made it. All right. So when you're in this one, do be aware that like there's some spots where there's a decent amount of space between available bubbles. If you're trying to focus on grabbing all the treasures and curiosities, you might accidentally drown. Brand usually puts one down if you're low. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's handy. You gotta look behind like all the corners and stuff. There's space behind a wall, there's probably something there. Okay. Ooh. We got rank 1, 2, and 3 bismuth in that. Oh, there's an extra action button to get some too. That's kind of handy. We're the last boss for this one.
Shockwave.
Just walking through the traps here.
Watch your step.
Maybe. Come on. Come on, you know you want to.
Run.
Bruh. Really?
Shockwave.
Wow. He waited till they despawned.
Watch your step.
These traps do like a decent chunk of damage if you drag stuff through them too.
Run. Shockwave.
Come on.
Watch your step.
That's obnoxious. So let's look at that fight. Actually didn't keep track of any damage the brand did. That's annoying. Makes it hard to get good analysis. We're not opening the Bountiful one. You want to be careful because those don't have any sort of a warning. You just burn your key if you actually open it. I did open one on my Druid because they do offer some rep, and I'm not planning to put much work on my Druid next week. So by the time I get to my Druid, keys will be open anyway. Yeah, you'll see, so if we look at the world map, like this is already not marked as a Bountiful Delve anymore. And then once we leave, it will, it's just a regular one now. So you only have one chance to get those chests. You want to make sure that you wait until you're able to do an 8 before you start sending those Bountiful Delves. I don't know how big of a deal it is, because I don't think we'll actually have enough keys to open like all of them every day. But if you're like a Tuesday night raider and you want to get a little bit of an edge going into it, make sure you wait until you've got them all unlocked before you do your 4 Bountiful Delves. Let's mix it up. We're gonna go up to Hollow Fall and do some delves in that zone. Let's see, Bran is now at 8,000. So I think like 2 more ought to do it on a max amount. 1 or 2. I think I'm going the wrong way here. Maybe, maybe not. I am definitely going the wrong way. The minimap can be a little deceiving in this zone. Oh, what? That's not fair. These like slipstream things are really, really nice. Make it easy to get from a lower zone to a higher zone. We'll go do the Nightfall Sanctum over there. I know I'm skipping all kinds of like treasures and rares and mining nodes and stuff, but we're just trying to focus on getting our brand maxed out here. Looks like Brand does get more experience from the Bountiful Delves too, so makes it a little bit more worth it. Even if you're not going to open the Bountiful chest. Ooh, we got a quest here too. It says 2 companion experience things on it. Alright, so hopefully between the quest and the delve here, we'll be able to get Brand leveled up. Oh, okay. That's different. We're just starting on the ship. Oh, this guy's making them all immune. I'm not going to stand there, Bran. You don't have to worry about it. Some of these traps just land in like a spot that's just impossible to actually move the mobs to. Okay. I think there might be treasure in here. There's at least a curiosity. And there is a rare down this way. Stolen loader.
Shockwave.
Oh. This thing's just got one shot. What was that? Okay, we need to dispel the shadow barriers. So we need to go up these stairs behind us here to get one of them. Nope. Oh. Oh, hey. Intended. Definitely intended. Ooh, we got some crates over here too. Mind the gap. I think if you walk into these circles, you get like a big trail of like AoE stuff chasing you around. They need to put the Eric Harris Brew trinket on the last boss. It's not stop levers after the boss drops. Yeah, I know, and like even with the deserter debuff, I think people are either like swapping to alts or like they just don't care and they're just like taking a break for 15 minutes or however long. I think just, yeah, moving that trinket to the last boss would be good. An idea I heard from Growl that I think would also work is if you leave a dungeon, like you just forfeit the loot. So it just like removes it from your inventory. They gotta do something though, because it doesn't just affect the people who have to wait. Like I was queuing up with guildies last night, and we had 4 people, and we queued into a dungeon where the first boss was already dead, and it was Arakara. And so like we had people who wanted the trinket and then weren't able to get a chance at it, and we had to finish out a dungeon, or we would get the deserter debuff. So like this attitude of like my time is more important than yours, and I'm just gonna benefit myself by wasting everyone else's time, is just incredibly toxic for the game. It needs to be addressed. If you're gonna fix the issue, make deserter warbound. I think that would have an impact for some people, but I think there's other people who would just like take it anyway and then just like go do something else. Unless you have it ramp up like pretty severely. Like if it's 5 extra minutes every time you do it and it doesn't reset for like weeks, then maybe that would address it. It just happened to the new people that came in were in for the trinket and left as well. Yeah, like that. I mean, like that's such a big part of the problem that no one is a lot of people are disregarding, right? Like what I've heard a lot of people talk about is like, oh, it's no big deal because if you want stuff from later bosses, the dungeon will fill up in just a minute anyway, and you don't have to wait long. And it's like, well, okay, but if 4 people leave, the new 4 people coming in probably also want that trinket because it's that good compared to what else we can get right now. And so you're not just wasting the time of the person left in the dungeon who has to wait around. You're also wasting the time of like other people who queue into the dungeon. Seasonal resets on a stacking deserter buff, that could probably do it, to be honest. Yeah, it's really, really bad for the growth of the community. And like think of new players too. If you're a new player and you like, let's say you just hit max level and you get into a dungeon and you kill the first boss and you're excited to go loot it, and then like the tank leaves out of nowhere, and it's like, what? Why are people leaving?
Watch your step. Keep moving.
Oh. Clipped that circle a little bit. So I don't know. I just think it's terrible for the game. They need to do something like real to address it. Wait, am I not clicking them fast enough?
Watch your step.
Oh, that's annoying. Or make deserter also give like a 5% stat debuff. Yeah, something like that. Okay, here you know what they could do. Maybe they could port over the what is it, like the coward debuff from hardcore, from classic hardcore, where if you like fled a Makara, you got this like 4-day in-game time debuff that like reduced your character stats by like 25% or something, like something to the point where like you were like in severe danger of dying if you did anything in combat. They can do something like that if you're a serial leaver. Like the one thing, like there needs to be some level of grace, because you don't want to punish people who like have a legitimate emergency, right? Like if you're running a heroic and like, you get a call that like one of your parents is in the hospital, and you should be allowed to leave in that scenario and not be punished. But these people who are just like chain spamming the same dungeon and leaving after the first boss over and over and over again, like that should not be allowed. Okay, is that all of the shadow barriers? There's one more. Debuff that prevents them from getting loot for 24 hours. Ooh, I like that.
Watch your step. Keep moving.
Yeah, something needs to be done about it for sure. We've had some good ideas here, I think. Now, I don't think Blizzard's going to implement anything that severe, but they really should. Leaving makes you lose rep in the region the dungeon is in. Like if you lose an entire renown level or something, and you like lose access to rewards that you've already gained. So like if you already bought the chest from that region or whatever. Can I really not kick this yet? It's unfortunate. It just like turns red if it's on your character. You gain no benefit from it. That could work. Also would like to see a deserter buff for Mythic Plus, but the players in the key decide, vote on it. Protection for players having to leave for a good reason. I think Mythic Plus, you should not be allowed to leave before the timer expires. If the timer is expired and you wipe to a boss, I think that's when it's okay to leave. Oh, that was the boss. Okay. But I still think like I think the right thing to do is talk about it with the party. Like personally, ooh, nice, we get a tinderbox from that actually. Like, I think the right thing to do is to say, like, hey guys, I don't think we're going to be able to get this, but let's give it one more shot. And then give it one more shot. And, you know, if you wipe or are, like, not close to killing the boss at that point, then, you know, just call it a day. But yeah, I hate to see, like, I saw in season 1 of Dragonflight, I was doing a Ruby Life Pulse, and it was like a moderately high key. It was pretty early in the season. It was like a 12 or something like that. And we got upstairs with like 20 minutes left, which, you know, if you've done Ruby Life Pulse, that's enough time left to time the key if you play well. And the healer starts like pulling additional packs in. I wasn't tanking, I was DPSing on my evoker. The healer starts like pulling in additional packs, and we're just like, dude, what are you doing? Slow down. And he's like, if I don't pull extra stuff, we're not going to time it. And it's like, no, we have plenty of time to time the key. Let's just do it. And he left the key because he was worried that we were not going to time it, even though there was 20 minutes left. And like behavior like that doesn't have any place in an MMO, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. This like extremely selfish, toxic behavior really does need to be addressed. And I think if Blizzard doesn't crack down on it, then alright, sweet. Brand is level 15. Yeah, if Blizzard doesn't crack down on it, then like it's only gonna get worse. Cool. Okay, so Brand does 35% increased damage now. Looks like he does get a stack of that with every level. So that could be another tip, like if you're kind of struggling with delves a little bit next week, just level up Bran a little bit before you dive into those tier 8 bountiful ones. Alright, we're going to hearth up to Dornagal. Need to vendor some stuff. Reward people for staying I think one of the things that would help people like not be so inclined to leave a Mythic Plus is if it didn't feel like you were already punished for leaving, you know, or for missing the timer on the key. So like one thing that I've heard brought up a lot that I definitely agree with is you should not lose crests for missing the timer on a key. Like your efficiency is already decreased if you're spending an hour in the key instead of like 30 minutes to time it. You don't also need to be punished by losing over half of the crests that you would get from it. There needs to be more punishment incentives for people to behave better in group simo. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so one thing I want to take a look at, I don't know if it'll show up well on overall damage because I didn't reset it before I started here, but I want to see how much damage Bran is actually doing. So let's take a look at Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire from Bran on live is hitting for 42k. So it's 42k damage. Creating for 80. So yeah, baseline like 42k damage right now. And that was at level 14 in that delve, because he hit level 15 when I turned in the quest afterward. I'd rather lose the loot than the crests. I know, like the crests, yeah. Going from 12, which is already like, it feels kind of bad when you're only getting 12 because you eventually get to the point where like you run an entire key and you can't do an upgrade. You have to run another key just to be able to upgrade a piece of gear. And then like if you miss the timer even by 1 second, now all of a sudden you need to run 3 keys just to get 1 upgrade. So I think all those things need a look. Unfortunately, when Blizzard was asked about those in interviews lately, they've been saying like they want that incentive to time the dungeon. But it's like there's already an incentive to time the dungeon. Like just making better use of your time, right? It's not like groups are gonna like intentionally wipe on bosses so that they can like get the lust reset after every pull or something. Like that's not gonna happen. And if that does happen, then like I don't know, that's just more about the design and difficulty of the dungeon that people are trying to do than it does about like how they should be rewarded for their gameplay. But anyway, we are going to hop on the beta for a little bit and do some tier 8 delves. So 3s are super easy. I want to see how tier 8 delves are feeling on both Prot and Fury. So we're going to be delving on the beta for a little bit here, everybody. Now, one of the things I'm curious about is like what the scaling on Bran actually looks like. Because I'll show you what I found earlier, which I think is a little bit curious. So this was from like just doing 1 pull in a tier 8 dungeon. So we just looked at rapid fire from that tier 3 and it was doing 42k per tick. On a tier 8 delve on the beta, it's doing 122k tick. Now there's a couple of things that could be going on here. He could be scaling with delve level, which I don't really think is the case because I did the same pull on a tier 3 and he was doing 28k with it. So like 28k versus 42k on live. I think what's happening is he's scaling with your item level and the scaling gets really out of hand because in these tier 8 delves we're scaled to item level 600, which is like about 11 item levels higher than I am on live. But I don't know, something weird's going on with the scaling there. So like the speed and damage output might be a little bit irrelevant, but I'm kind of curious to see like how hard are we going to get hit in these. Let's see, we just did Nightfall Sanctum, so we'll use this for our testing purposes. Let's see, not to mention all the achievements and stuff based on your score. which is obviously better when you time the dungeon. Yeah, that's true. I was actually curious about that. 8 will be the target to start the season for gear for both the cache and the vault. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna go in here and see how this goes. Now my brand on the beta is only level 2. No, he's higher than that now. He's level 4 now. I'm using the same curios, and I have him spec'd as DPS. But yeah, I want to see like how hard are we gonna get hit in this. Alright, so we gotta hop on a ballista. So this is the same thing, we're just on an 8 instead of a 3. Now again, the scaling, the item level scaling, it says 610 on the character sheet, but if you look at the items, they're all set to 600. Bran is, unless they've hotfixed anything in the last like 10 minutes, Bran is absolutely gonna truck these guys. But I'm curious to see like how hard they actually hit me. Oh, they're hitting pretty hard. Oh, they're hitting very, very hard. Okay.
Run.
Now this was a little bit of a reckless pull.
Run.
Okay, we didn't die. But we could have. I did that pull on the 3 and had no problems at all. We'll see how like just this singular shade hits me. So like just one enemy, he's not actually hitting that hard. Like he's not even getting through my ignore pane. He's also a caster, so yeah, he's so like one if you do, I get hit by the frontal there. And actually did a decent chunk of my health. Like his Shadow Strike isn't hitting too hard. I think if you keep your defensives up, at least as a tank, like this isn't too bad. We'll see, and I don't think we have to do any like insane pulls like we did earlier. We'll see how the last boss feels too. I'm not gonna go out of my way to get like the treasures and stuff on this because we're not trying to level Brian up on the beta. Okay, this pack is empowered. Which is like, so there's affixes on the Delve system if you guys didn't know. And so we haven't really seen much of that. You've probably seen like the spores in some of the dungeons. Or like these guys, I'm trying to remember what the one in the last one was. Or I guess like the purple circles on the ground is one of them. But once you get into a little bit higher, like these mobs actually get empowered. And then I think you get like more currency rewards for defeating them. Yeah, I can see like Bran's Devil Sword is doing like 30% of my damage. So the actual output in these is kind of broken right now with Bran. Again, that is probably due to like item level scaling, like how he's scaling with our item level on our character here. That is something to keep in mind. Like, stuff will definitely live longer next week, unless you, like, spend time to level on Empire. Using Brown as a healer. I'm using him as DPS, which is what I was doing on live. I'm trying to keep that, like, consistent for the testing here. Although his damage is so much higher on this that I'm not sure it really is consistent. But, I mean, he could be, like, double dipping on scaling, and, like, scaling with both item level and, Delve level. I don't know, it'd be kind of weird if he scaled with Delve level. Okay. I just spell reflected that and it one-shot that guy. 2.8 million. So these things definitely hit hard. I want to do one as Fury too. Maybe we'll just do the same one so that we have like a common baseline to compare things here.
Run.
I'm wondering if like mob damage is tuned up higher when you're playing a tank, because they do that in a lot of content, right? Gotta start looking at the spell reflect spreadsheet now that I'm locked in on word. Yeah, I need to take a look at that too. Like, I kind of just try to reflect everything, but knowing like what are the highest value things to reflect and like all that is really, really good to know.
Shockwave.
Okay. I guess we can just jump down here. So we probably want to pull some of these back and not pull all of them at the same time. Where do you find that spreadsheet? It's on the Warrior Discord. If you go to the Skyhold Discord,
Run.
I don't have an invite for it handy. I could get one, but if you just Google like Warrior class Discord, you should be able to find it. Yeah, that thing is a very, very handy resource. I can link you like, yeah, if you want to link it, Baktash. Although, well, it'll probably get deleted from YouTube chat if you send a link, but... Or maybe not, because you're a mod. You should be able to link it. Nice. Looks like it stayed. So we'll definitely save final impressions for like when we get to the last boss, but so far like this stuff hits hard, but not to the point where like I feel like I'm in serious danger from normal gameplay. That first pull I did was kind of crazy. Pulled like maybe 10 mobs at once or something. So you may not want to charge right in your like 589-ish gear. But it seems like these will be pretty approachable, at least if you have a tank spec. Obviously not everyone will. Then to fill the young jammy roll and pull that stuff up when visiting around. Yeah, right on. Really appreciate that. Curious to see how hard the boss hits, especially since it's like a trio. I guess one of the good things is we'll get a taste of how hard this is going to be as we level up in Delves, right? Because we're not just going from a 3 straight in. So if like at 7 stuff starts hurting pretty bad, maybe that's a signal to like, okay, go do your M0s, get your normal weekly gear taken care of first. You level up Bran in like 5s or 6s a little bit. It's nice that it's headers for each dungeon in the raid. Thank you. Yeah, it's a 6 spreadsheet. Thanks for sure, and thanks for posting that link again, Baktash. All the discords for classes are pretty good and amazing resources. I think the resources they have are generally very good. I wouldn't necessarily to listen to all the people chatting, because you get a lot of random people just like parroting something they heard without putting any thought into it. Alright, here we go. Dodge the shadow waves. Oh, you can stun that guy. Okay, that's good to know. I don't have spell block on my bars. Why do I not have spell block on my bars? I don't have it talented. What? Okay. That's not where we want to be. If you pay attention to the respective people, you generally get info. That's true. Also, normally it doesn't take very long to learn who's full of it because most mod discords call them out. That's true. That's also true. Definitely taking longer than the 3 did. It's kind of to be expected, though. Okay, we can do something for science here. This is beta, so we can just open up the Bountiful chest and see what happens. 70 undercoin. I don't even know what that does. Okay, so we got a Radiant Echo. We got boots. 603 boots. And then we got more of these undercoins. Cool. And then a bunch of resonance crystals. We can't actually use this because this is the testing realm. Yeah, it's currency. Okay, it's currency for beta stuff. Alright, we're gonna try that as Fury now, which I don't even know if I've set up on beta, so this may take us a moment. Currency to buy stuff from one of the Dell people. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess we just don't have it unlocked yet. We're gonna go Slayer. Slayer is very strong. And I don't know what my build actually looks like on the beta at the moment, so we'll check that. Let's see. This is not all correct. Let's going to reference the Wowhead Fury M Plus build. Okay, so we're gonna go out of Sudden Death, pick up Ashen Juggernaut. I'm gonna drop this for this, and then are we not playing Ashen Juggernaut? I guess we're not even playing Ashen Juggernaut. Alright, sure. Okay, and then we drop this. Nope, wrong one. And this. I guess we don't need Thunderclap either because we're not playing Mountain Thane. So we can pick up like Second Wind. That's going to be huge actually, I think. And then Rally, sure. I think the Indiana Jones looking guy will be a vendor once the season starts, across from the upgrade guy in Dongledor and the Delphi thing. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. All right, let's. Oh, I need to put my Fury weapons on, which I think I have. I got some two-handers. These should get skilled up, so. Oh, here I got these two. There we go. Those weapons look sick too. Gladiator weapons. All right, let's do this one again. Let's see how hard this stuff hits me as Fury. I can never remember how to spell that town, so I call it whatever. That sounds like Dumbledore. That's funny. Alright, this is not Bountiful this time. And we're not a tank this time. So, oops, didn't mean to send that ping. Yeah, so everything's scaled to 600. I'm using the same trinkets that I have on live. I don't know if these will be the trinkets we have long term, but Sack Brood is really good. And this thing does a lot of unused damage, so let's put that on our bars here. Also, let's make sure I have everything set up the same. No. What do I have at 9 on my Fury bars? Well, I'm not missing anything important. Okay. I guess the only thing I do is macro recklessness and avatar together, because I just usually have that. That's not spelled correctly. Recklessness. There we go. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I think I want to try and pull these like one at a time if I can. That did not pull them one at a time. Okay, so that's a challenging pull, but it's definitely not impossible. Definitely not impossible. We'll need to kill this thing. Turn charge into a heal harm macro for intervene as well, since we're trying to use it for hero talents and Prot. Nice. Yeah, I just have intervene on a separate button. That's an interesting idea, though. I think this guy hits very, very hard. Okay. That was rough. He was meleeing me for over 1 million damage. Okay. Well, we'll try that again. So these might be a lot harder as DPS than tank. Like, that guy was barely breaking my ignore pain when I was doing this as Prot. Doing it since WAD? Nice. Yeah, I think my only hesitation is I don't want to, like, accidentally be hovering over someone and, like, hit intervene when I mean to charge. But does he have a... No, that's not like an increased physical damage taken debuff. We just gotta try and burst him down. Definitely don't get hit by that. You know what we do? We go second wind. We just abuse second wind here. Oh, and then we let Bran one-shot him. Nice. Hey, how's it going, Nev? Sorry, I missed your comment there first. Yeah, we're doing some delves on the beta tonight, right now. We spent some time earlier leveling Bran up to level 15 on live. I already had him at level 13, so it didn't take super long. But we're testing level 8 delves on the beta right now, just to prepare for next week. So we did this exact one as Prot earlier, and it was easy. Like, there were a few challenging pulls, but I would say overall it was pretty easy. And Fury, we're taking some damage. Taking some damage. I guess that's another thing we check. Is Bran's Rapid Fire doing the same damage for Prot and Fury? Yes, it's doing about the same damage for Prot and Fury. Do you think having Bran at level 15 has a huge impact? I think it'll have a impact. I don't know how huge it'll be. He does get like 5% more damage for every level that you level him up. So I think there's at least some potential for that to be big in the long run. You know, if you get him up to like level 17 or 18 while you're working up the ladder on delves, like that could actually be pretty significant. He is a little broken on the beta right now. I think it's due to like how he's scaling with item level. But I don't know if that's been, I don't know if it's going to be exactly the same on live. I know they pushed some hotfixes to like how effective he is on live, because I guess he was underperforming a lot for some classes and specs. And so they pushed some hotfixes to even that out a bit. I don't know if they added those to beta or not. I would kind of guess they didn't. Because they're probably not like doing a lot of active development on beta now that the game is live. So that could be what's going on.
Run.
Yeah, I mostly leveled them up because it's like my warrior's gear is pretty maxed out. Other than like capping on Valor Stones, there's not that much that I really need to do. And this is like one thing that could be like situationally slightly beneficial come Tuesday. Fishing, I could level fishing. I could go level fishing. I probably will at some point. I also need to give my DK some love. DK sitting there at like 580. But also like hasn't actually done anything this week. Has crests I could spend. So we'll maybe take a look and give the DK a little bit of attention. Probably do that like tomorrow night or maybe Saturday. Yes, this is definitely harder as Fury than it was as Prot. But it was not super challenging as Prot. Shame. Your fishing's currently 133. Okay, how high does it level? Or is it like 133 because you have like the fishing hat and like fishing pole and everything? $300 is max level with that bus. Okay, cool. So I've got a long ways to go on leveling fishing for this expansion. Then we'll get to it eventually. We'll get to it when we get to it. It would be better to do it before the season starts for sure. Just fishing in pools for hours. Yeah, I don't know if that's something I want to stream. I feel like a fishing stream has potential to either be like super chill with lots of chatting or just like completely dead because everyone's going to be like, why am I watching someone else fish in WoW? And I really don't know which way that would go. I would not blame anyone for tuning out from that broadcast. I'd hang out. Right on, Soul. Right on. I feel like we would have to have like I would want like a list of things that I would like a list of things to talk about because fishing is definitely more passive. I'd chill. Well, thank you guys. Maybe we'll give that a shot someday here. I need to be careful because as soon as this goes down, the boss is going to spawn. I want to make sure we have our cooldowns back before we do that. We did die one time as Fury. Didn't really come close to dying as Prot. Few quality of life reviewers I've come across lately. City of Threads Spy Finder. Does that one actually still work? I know for a while the spies actually had a different like what's it called? They have like a different character ID number than the other mobs. But that could be useful. Dornagal map labels for city navigation. That is useful, especially when you're like new to the city. I think I know where the things that I'm interested in going to are now. But like, if I was picking up an alt that like uses different professions, I would probably want that again. Maya's knowledge point tracker. I'm using that one. That one is really, really handy. Although I was really sad when I first installed it and saw that I had already done everything for the week. I was like, oh, but I feel like I didn't get any knowledge. It did last time. Nice. These guys are absolutely trucking me. Wow. Okay. And Bran leaves the group. Okay, so... yeah. Maybe we try this with Bran as a healer? I'm gonna leave these as the same for now. We'll try it with Bran as a healer. Because these guys, they made very quick work of me there. I'll wait for our cooldowns to come back up. Yeah, so they were hitting me for... Bran, you're making this very hard to read. Melee for 300k, 500k, almost 400k. Melee for 600k. Shadow Bolt, 700k. Yeah. Got crit for 1.3 million. Shadow Bolt for 1 million. Well, a little bit harder is Fury. Just a little bit. Just a touch. Alright. Let's see what happens here. Heal me, Bran. Heal me. Oh, good lord. I'm gonna die while I'm blade storming. Yeah. Okay, I got hit by the Shadow Waves that time, so that didn't help, but like... I don't know. I would have died 10 seconds after that anyway, I think. This is rough. We swap to Prot. See how that goes. Because I feel like it'll just be the correct play here. And then swap Bran back to DPS. Just as a sanity check to see what happens here. Yeah, very sturdy. We do need to use defensive against these guys. But we're not... I don't feel like I'm in a ton of danger. Not like I did in Fury. And once this first guy dies, it gets a lot easier. Now again, Bran is doing like giga damage on these guys. I don't know, maybe this is more in line with what he was doing on live. Looks like he just didn't use his rapid fire, so that we don't have that baseline to compare it to. That's kind of funny. Okay, well, so Prot is way, way, way easier in these. Fury's gonna struggle, especially on bosses, which leads me to believe other DPS are gonna have similar struggles. So that's good to know. Alright, I'm glad we got that testing done. Yeah. Gives us some things to think about and talk about. Now, I would imagine doing that in a group is probably going to be much, much easier than trying to solo it with Bran. Because you get Bran with you anyway if you're in a group. You just have like the party leader's Bran. So as long as your party leader has him leveled up to 15. But I think having a traditional group with like a tank and a healer and some DPS is probably going to be the way to go. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but you know, if you want to solo it, just level Bran up really, really high and then it's no problem. Also, we're scaled to item level 600, so as the week goes on, if you're able to push beyond item level 600, those will get easier. Yeah, that's that last boss's Fury was very eye-opening. I lasted 22 seconds and then 26 seconds. And then Prot, we killed it in 1 minute. The first time as Prot, we killed it in 2 minutes? Oh, that's weird. Okay, hold on. We did... what happened there? So we did 47 million damage. And the first time... 59 million damage. Interesting. Does it have more health if you start it as Prot than Fury? That feels weird. Oh, maybe it had more health because it was technically a Bountiful delve the first time. That's something to look into. Delve's a Sunday, Monday thing. Once you get up as much as possible for the week, maybe. Well, I think... So if you're able to get up to 15 keys, which I think is possible, keep in mind that you can only spend 4 of them per day, right? So you want to start them no later than Friday if you want to try to get all of your Bountiful delves in. Yeah, I'm going to try and get them in on Tuesday, but I think I want to do my M0 sweep first for sure now, having done that testing. Yeah, if you have 11 keys right now, because you can get 4 per week, you've been able to get 1 extra from the, if you've done every rogue quest, you probably got like at least 100 of the fragments that you can combine, so that's 1 extra, and then 2 from early access. For those of us who had that. Time probably better spent doing daily M0. I think, assuming you have time to do everything before your raid, I think doing M0s before you do your delves is probably a safe idea. I'm also wondering... Let's see, I'm trying to see if I can find spreadsheets. This is kind of tiny. So I'm wondering if doing them at the level, I think like level 6 gives you champion track gear, but it's like 1 out of 8 instead of 3 out of 8. Maybe it's worth picking up a couple pieces from that. I don't know. Probably not. Doing normal with guild first. Yeah, that's probably a safer way to go. Have 5 tunes going straight into full zero sweep. Nice. All my keys till Thursday after raid. Yeah, like you'll want to use all your keys to get champion track gear week 1 for sure, and you want to get the level 8 delves done to fill out your vault, because those hero track items are going to be the best you can get, technically. Yeah, what's up, Stridro? I have an odd feeling people doing pre-made delves like M+, but not going as hard as higher M+. That might be the play. Like, I bet doing this with, like, 5 people is going to be a lot easier. I mean, you'll have kicks for everything, right? Like, one of the things that made that last boss hard is that there was 3 mobs and, like, you just couldn't kick everything. But I think having a real healer, because Bran was not getting it done. Having a real healer and then, like, a couple of real DPS will really, really make a big difference, I think. Cool. Alright, so we got that done. Let's go over to live. And I think I'm going to see if anyone in my guild needs to do some heroics, because I do need to farm some more Valor Stones on my warrior. I've spent many Valor Stones. I feel like they haven't tested it. So I will tell you, they feel a lot better than they did on beta a couple months ago. Because the first time I tried a level 8 as Prot Warrior, I got absolutely destroyed. But that was, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months ago. It was when they had the week where, like, they took Mythic Plus down to kind of, like, revamp the affix system. And there has definitely been tuning in delve since then. I can definitely tell you that. But I don't know. I think it's cool if the content is challenging, right? Like, if delves are just face roll all the way up to level 8, then, like, what's even the point? If they're giving, like, reasonably challenging single-player content to players, I think that's a good thing. Now, it needs to be reasonably challenging for the gear that you have when you're going into it, right? Because that was at item level 600, which they say is what it's intended for. And, like, I don't know, that last boss could have been possible as Fury, but I think it would have taken a lot more than 5 lives. It would have taken a lot of tries to figure things out and, like, iterate and maybe try out different gear. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want it to be like a real test of skill and preparation. But yeah, that was not easy for sure. Let me see if anyone needs some heroics. Got a bunch of people online. See if we can help some people get some gear. Looks like there's a group of 4 in Dawnbreaker right now, and they do not have a tank with them. So yeah, I don't think it's free. I think if you have a full pre-made group, it might be a little bit easier. But I don't know. That's kind of hard to test right now. I don't think there's... I think there's probably hardly anyone doing stuff on beta right now. Unless they're, like, trying to test very, very specific things. Cool, there's a group on the last boss of a heroic that are going to do more, so I will join them after they're done there. How many can you take in? You can take up to 5. You can take, like, a full 5-player group, and I think you still get Bran with you even if you have 5. I know you still have him, like... I've seen videos of people doing, like, 2-player delves, and they had Bran with them. So... tanky DPS that has off heals would be OP. Yeah, something like a Prot Warrior and a Ret Paladin or a Elemental Shaman, like, that would be pretty strong. You get Bran in groups, nice. Hey, what's up, Terex? Also, hi. Yeah, what's up? Only people on beta is maybe world first skill, checking updating strats on how gear quickly going to raid. Yeah, I've seen some like MDI people still doing testing in keys too. Blood DK Ret Pally would be nasty. That would be a very, very strong delve duo. Alright, while we're waiting for our guildies, I think we'll go mine for a minute. Or maybe we'll start fishing. Maybe we'll fish, Soul. Should we go fish? I think there's water around these parts somewhere. Yeah, I see some water over here. Oh, we're in the group already. We'll see if we can catch anything. I am the group leader. I have 10 fishing skill. Let's go. Got a fishing pools. I mean, yes, but like we're actually queued up. I don't have time to go find a pool right now. I think I can I track fish on this character? I can. The pool will probably not be here when we get back, but we will try. Alright, I need lots and lots of Valor Stones, I think. I have 247, that's not too bad. Oh, I have the wrong action bars up. That's one of the perils of keeping your professions on like a second action bar that you scroll to, which is something I've done since like vanilla. But yeah, sometimes you forget that you were fishing when you accepted the instance queue and run in and try to thunderclap, and instead you start opening your blacksmithing and closing it over and over again. Use the 2 buffs from the fish you catch. Well, that's true, you do get some fish from delves. I did giggle when looking at 1105 patch notes and Warriors very show compared to other classes. I saw that too. You know what I thought was actually insane though? I thought it was insane that like several classes are getting like almost a full rework and the Druid class tree has not been touched. That is just an absolute travesty. Absolute miscarriage of justice. How is the Druid class tree going to be allowed to stay in the state that it is for another patch? No Valor Stones, you get like 14 at the end of a delve. Something like that. Let's just go in. Let's YOLO this. Pally was the biggest, right, checking out. I think Paladin and Mistweaver Monk also got a lot, but I think Paladin got more, yeah. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I trust you, Wizard. It's almost like in these 2 different class trees, one for Rest of Balance, one for Feral Guardian. I mean, that's kind of what they've tried to do with it, but they've shoehorned it all into the same like, absolute mess of a tree. I think they just need to scrap the idea of having like a resto column, a balance column, a guardian column, and a feral column. Like, just make everything cross over to everything else and get rid of all of the 2-point talents. Like that would be a good start. I don't know. I'm gonna bring that up every time there's patch notes until they actually do something about it. Because it was the worst class tree. Like, it's been the worst class tree since the second class tree was released in Dragonflight's alpha. It was the first one that was released during Dragonflight's alpha, and it's been the worst one since they released another. And it remains the worst one, and it's just a shame. For a class that has so much potential to have an amazing class tree, for it to be in the state that it's in is just inexcusable. All right. I really don't like that this guy's not targetable until he's like running at you. It's one thing if he's not attackable, but you can't even target him, and that's not cool. Dude, is it legit like have one spec as your main and 3 others are alts? Yeah, for sure. Some other bosses are like that too. Yeah, it's always annoying. I wish they would just let you target and rip it. Did I? I don't think I got. Oh, I did get. I got bracers. Let's see if anyone needs these. I don't know if Usul still needs anything. Looks like he just needs Valor. Akira. Alright, I think we just keep queuing. Keep going. Alright, if you can disenchant, then why not? Should probably change my title now that we're not delving anymore. Kitty! Get a damage buff. Ah. Oh well. Doesn't matter. I want to be careful with that on keys. Oh, we got everything here. Nice. Did I not? Oh, kick was on CD. This boss, at least based on my beta experience, is going to kill a lot of pugs. The people are not ready to move in the same direction after that goes out. They're just going to immediately die to the AoE on the ground there. At least that's what happened on 10s when we were testing. Ooh, avoidance. I got speed on my larynx. That is a weird sentence. Well, I heard one tip, you can actually use ranged attacks on this guy and pull him into the pheromone dude that you have to fight at the start there. There we go. Yeah, now that we're learning this place a little better, I need to watch Shaw's video again. If you guys haven't seen that video, very, very handy. Talks about how to like quickly and easily find all the spies here. And he gave like a pretty consistent like route that you can run to do it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but really handy. Almost got him. The last one's over here somewhere. Yep, right here. I watched the Shaw's a good tank. Yeah, he's really good. I've always liked his Brewmaster content. He's put out a lot of good stuff heading into War Within. Deserves some recognition. This guy is all the way over here. We just got led in a big circle. There he is. Let us attack. I feel like I see these drop every time I do this boss. Taking a prop pally, heroics feels decent. Nice. Yeah, I haven't started gearing up my paladin yet, but honestly, like leveling dungeons felt really good on it. Better than I was expecting it to. I still think Word of Glory needs a massive buff. More than another 10%. Cause like it's healing for like less than 1/10 of your health, right? And that's just not acceptable. 567 so far. That's pretty good. You're getting there. Should pull this guy in. Why can't I learn to fish mounted? Fishing is not more complicated than mining. True. Actually true. We need a full-on, like, fish talent tree. I know there was the fishing artifact in Legion, but, like... give us fishing and cooking talent trees like we have for the other professions. You can, like, choose what fish you want to spec into. Choose what kind of recipes you want to spec into. Maybe you could spec into like longer duration food buffs. Fishing needs a revamp. I mean, it's basically the same as it has been since vanilla, right? 20 years. Like, it's not a significant difference that you can fish anywhere in the world with any skill. Wee. Can I jump into one and get bounced into the other? No. You're no fun, boss. Wee. Wee wee. Wee. Looks like they're just too far away. The things you can do in a heroic dungeon that you are not going to be able to do in live. Ah, the meadery. How crazy do we want to go? How crazy should we go here? I think the answer is yes. Get everything on me. We're disoriented. Solid. Health bot. Oh. Getting away with a lot of heroics, yeah. Some people didn't realize we aren't even seeing all the boss mechanics yet. Yeah, that's gonna be an eye-opener. Hey, wait, can I? What happens with the cooking pot over here? I gotta science this. Now that we have cooking, let's see what happens. It's gotta be some kind of a group buff, yeah? Carefully boil the mead to extract pure honey from it. Holding very sticky honey. Okay. Okay. Wait. It said enemies and players. Hold on. You can just hit your whole party with that. That's fantastic. Don't do that in keys. That would be irresponsible. We can't encourage that. I guess you can't do that in keys in season 1, so. There we go this way, because we're right here. Stunned. Oh, we lost Waz. So slow. Can you just jump down here? Yeah, let's just do that. Come on, charge. Ooh. Call on a ravenous ally and ride it off into the sunset for or 15 yards, whichever is closest. That sounds fun. Wait, can I get more of this? I can get more. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Oh, I don't know if it's good that I discovered that. I don't think it affects people for very long, but I find that way too amusing. You mean I can just douse my friends in honey and slow them? That's kind of so. If you charge these guys into a group you're not in combat with, they will aggro. Okay, that's good to know. Try and guide a little bit. Let me get some more. Oh, that's too funny. I have to do about 40 satchels for tanking and healing. Nice. I haven't seen one in the last couple of days. I'm trying to hit them when they're available. I got like 13 runes, augment runes, and then my DK has like another 5 or so. So not bad, not bad. You just did one? Nice. Yeah, I don't think I should abandon my guildies just to go for a satchel, but that's the other thing. I've been running a lot of dungeons with people from my guild, trying to help them gear up. I'm pretty sure you can only get it if you're solo. Getting usually 3 runes per satchel. That's pretty good. Ooh. Got a leatherwork pattern. Nice. Apparently there's a letter you can get here if you're a goblin or a scribe. Up to 175 fishing. Nice, nice. Keeping on Baktash. I think I'm currently at 10 fishing. Max mine first aid to get it done. Nice. Yeah, I have maxed cooking now, but not fishing yet. You must have made heaps of gold off of those fish, selling them on day 1. Alright, we just gotta take our lumps here. Eat the sun. Not bad. Nice. So to do cooking, any tips on speeding it up? It's super fast, actually. You can get a recipe. I don't remember where I got it from. It's called, let me pull it up here. Belladar's Bounty, and this one can take you all the way to max level. You get like 2 skill ups every time you create it. And it can take you, you can use it at 35 skill, and it can take you all the way to 100. All you need is these portion steak. You get these from any meat. And then the other 2 items are both vendor, like from the cooking vendor. You get portion steak by taking any meat and using this ability called portion steak. And it's similar to like prospecting gems. You just like select a meat, and then you can basically just turn 5 meat into, I think, up to like 3 portion steaks, depending on your skill. And it's good. Personal food to boot for strength. Yeah, this is the secondary stat one. So it gives you like, let's think it's like 400 and... Where is it? 469. Nice. Of your highest secondary stat. There are some foods that give you like some of your lowest secondary stat. The primary stat ones give less stat from what I saw, but also give stamina. But yeah, if as far as like leveling it goes, you can just make that singular food all the way up to all the way from 35 to max level. And you can get pretty close to 35 from just doing like the prepared steak, which you'll need to do a ton of to be able to level it. One of the cool things about cooking this expansion is this hearty food and hearty feast. Basically, you take like 5 of one meal, and you can condense it into 1 portion that then persists through death. So you don't need a flavor pocket. You can make and the food is warbound. So you can make food for your warband that is that persists through death. So it's like you get a free flavor pocket basically if you well, it's not free because you have to pay for the materials and everything, but if you are happy with the secondary stat food, then cooking is like super easy and cheap. Savat64, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate all the follows tonight. Thank you to all my followers and subscribers. Really appreciate all you guys. Nice to have a boatload of basically beef from all my tunes. But if it's putting my nose in the grind and having 1080s already. Yeah, you get so much of it from leveling. I think I sold some the first day, but like, yeah. And even if you need to buy some, it's super, super cheap. Like the prepared steaks, if you just buy those from the auction house, they're like less than 2 gold each. It was like 1 gold, 11 silver or something when I checked earlier today. So I was like, maybe I want to sell some of my leftovers, but then like super cheap. Some I'll sold all to them. About 3k basically beef just when AFK made it. I mean, the basically beef is cheap too, so. Pro tip, you buy the cinder bee belly and break it down, you get a lot of the honeycomb. Ooh, that is nice. Yeah, the honeycomb is like a multi-craft like proc thing. It's like when you're crafting another recipe, I know you can do it on the, I guess on any of these, like you put a honeycomb in and then you'll get Brodo, thank you for the YouTube subscribe. Really appreciate that. You have like a higher chance to multi-craft your food. So some cooking tips. I'm not a cooking expert by far, but Those are just some things that I figured out while I was leveling it up. Alexander, Warrior, Prot, or DH? I can't choose. I love both. What do you think? I like Warrior a lot better, but Vengeance is not one of my favorite tanks. So if you really enjoy it, then understand that I'm a little bit biased. But Prot Warrior is my favorite tank in the game right now. I just have the most fun with it, and I think it's in a very, very strong state too. But I picked my main based on like how fun I found the class, and Prot Warrior ended up being a pretty easy decision for me. So that's my 2 cents. I will say, if you like both, this is probably the best time in WoW's history to be playing multiple characters. So you could play both at a pretty high level probably, if you have the time for it. I think there is a fairly high chance one of those 2 tanks is like pretty solidly in the meta. Play all 3 tanks, and my top 3 are Warrior, Monk, DH. Nice. Yeah, Warrior's my favorite. I have Blood DK in second because I really like the I just like the self-sustain that Blood DK has, and I have a lot of fond memories. I mained Frost DK tank for a while in Wrath of the Lich King, and it was the first time I really got into tanking, and so I have some good memories of that time. Okay, thanks. Right on. Happy to help. Lots of people liking DK. I think a lot of tanks really like when DK is good, because it does feel nice just being in control of your survival to the degree that DK is. Ooh, speed and a socket. I gotta repair my shield here. They didn't fix this yet, did they? They still haven't fixed it. For those unaware, if you have your Master's Hammer from Dragonflight, it still repairs your War Within gear. I do not need this belt. You for sure may have it, Usul. I tanked DK's Frost. Yeah, it was super fun. Like dual wield tanking late in Wrath of the Lich King. It wasn't the best, but it was super, super fun. I was a warrior tank that was taking off his pants, so he got more damage taken, so he got more rage in ICC. Yep. Yep, that was definitely a thing. Blood took over doing that. Yeah, blood tanking was definitely the best by like probably Trial of the Crusader. But I really liked Frost. I played it when I could get away with it. Stop telling people. Sorry, Soul. I mean, I'm at the point where I can make the hammer for this expansion now. So I got 100 skill in blacksmithing, but I don't want to farm the materials because it's an expensive recipe. I'm not gonna look at it while I'm trying to round stuff up. But it was like 10 sanctified alloy, 10 ironclaw alloy. It's gonna be an expensive one to craft. Once I have max blacksmithing, they can fix it. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I maxed mine out this morning. Ended up having like 2 crafting orders that I had the recipe for that I got 3 skill for. So I think that I used the ever burning ignition all the way up to like 94. Maybe 95 skill. And then I got the last bit from other crafting orders. Oh, max knowledge. I mean, yeah. I definitely, if I remember to use it, I should get a lot of value out of shield repairs. Because shields take damage so fast for a warrior. And repairs do be expensive. But yeah, at least being an armor smith and like being able to repair everything will be super nice. Ooh, we got some friends. I did too. Frost DK felt in tune with the DK storyline. Yeah, I definitely did. And honestly, like Wrath of the Lich King Howling Blast, that was just a super fun ability. It's like doing truck levels of AoE damage. Ooh, nice, we got a sack brood. Hopefully someone can use that. I already have mine maxed out at 593. Hey, which trinkets are you using for Prot Warrior? I am currently using Sack Brood. That's from the first boss in Arcar. That's the one that's causing all the controversy with people leaving groups and dungeons early. Because it drops from the first boss in here. And I think it's like Turbo Bis for Prot. I think it's probably Bis for like almost every class in the game right now. Almost every spec in the game. Maybe like Brewmaster Monk it might not be super good for, because it has straight haste on it, but you get a ton of primary stat out of it. So it's really, really good. Like at 2 stacks right now, I'm getting 2,800. Oh, I went up to 3. So 3 stacks, I'm getting 2,800 primary stat for like a minute. And then now we're at 4 stacks. So that's like 3,800 primary stat. Like it's huge. It's really, really, really good. And the other one I'm using is the Oppressive Orator's Larynx. I don't necessarily think this is the best trinket. It's just simmed the highest of the ones that I have access to. And that's from the first boss in City of Threads. I have most of the dungeon trinkets available. These are just the ones that seem to be the best for damage. And since we're, you know, like doing heroics and we're really not being threatened at all, makes sense to run damage trinkets in my opinion. Thanks, no problem. The sound from Howling Blast was so satisfying. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I have a couple videos I want to make in addition to dungeon guides. The dungeon guides, that project's going to be hard to get out by next week. I think I might just make a single video for all the routes and kind of go through them with timestamps, and then like work on boss guides for dungeons as I'm able to. There's also a lot of like other really good dungeon guides out there, so I don't know, I may just punt on that for this season. We'll see. But I want to make a video talking about delves based on the testing that we did earlier tonight. And then another video I want to make is just looking at the trinkets that you can use as a tank. Because I think there's some that are like really interesting, and some that I have, let's just say some that I have some critiques of that I would like to share. It's even Bis for Brew. That makes sense. You get so much primary stat from the from the proc. And like a little bit of haste is okay as brew. Game through 7 trinkets at me last night, my Holy Pally. Felt like Blizz was using me as a scaling dummy. Couple good ones in there for sure. That's a lot of trinkets. There's definitely some choices to make about them. I think I have like almost all of the dungeon trinkets on Adventurer track. Which, you know, they're not going to be the best thing once we start gearing up next week, but it's kind of nice to have a little bit of choice. There's a couple of really nice trinkets in the seasonal dungeon pool for the dungeons that are returning too. So those will be worth talking about, I think. The main stat negates the haste. I'm using the book trinket that gives magic defense after like 50 blocks. Not sure if it's bad. Yeah, I haven't really played around with that one. I've been rolling in DPS spec for a while. Mostly just because I geared out my warrior and I've been trying to help our plate DPS in guild gear up, so if I roll as arms I can pass like two-handed weapons and everything. I don't think that's super necessary anymore. I think most of our people just need Valor Stones and stuff to upgrade. Yeah, I've got a collection of trinkets here. We got this one in Cinder Brew, but I've got this one from Rookery, which I haven't actually tested yet. It seemed really high for Fury, so I'm kind of interested to test it. This one I think I got from the Awaken the Machine, but it's not bad. It gives it a decent amount of haste on use. Dark Moon cards, obviously. This one I was not impressed with. It's really hard to track how much damage reduction you're actually getting from this, but I don't know, the actual damage portion was minuscule and I was not very impressed. This one gives you like pretty high mastery on use, but mastery is not the best stat for Prot, so I haven't bothered with it yet. And then this one just doesn't sim as high as the other two, so I haven't bothered upgrading it yet. But and then there's this one, of course, which I just bought for the item level so I could upgrade other stuff cheaper. I'll say it again, I really like the Holy Pal gameplay at the moment. It feels really good. Had bursts over 500k HPS during large AoE pulls. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. The last time I tried to do anything serious on a healer, it was the Holy Pally at the end of Shadowlands? Yeah. Like Season 4 Shadowlands. I was doing like weekly keys on Holy Pally, and I enjoyed it. It took me a while to get used to this spec because I was used I've done a lot of healing on Resto Druid and Resto Shaman over the years. And it's quite different, especially back then compared to those two healers, but I had fun with it. I don't know how different the gameplay is between then and now. I know it's like obviously new talent trees and it's been reworked since then, but I found it to be an enjoyable spec. I had a Holy Priest going ham last night, doing like 2 million on big AoE pulls. That's insane. My bobber wasn't ready. Ooh, we got a Golden Gill Trout. Fish out this pool while we wait here. Come on. Bite, fishies, bite. Nice. I told him I don't know what you're doing, but it's gonna get patched. Oh, fell victim to the action bars again. Alright, where is the Void Soul? Be ready to kick this guy. I have four healers at the moment: Monk, Pally, H-Priest, and Shaman. Nice. Which one do you like best, out of curiosity? If it's not Holy Paladin. I've been considering leveling up my Shaman so I can do some healing, but our guild right now has like 3 or 4 tanks for dungeons at most, and like 7 healers, so. But I feel like playing the different roles makes you better at your main role to a certain degree. So I kind of want to dip my toes in with healing and DPS a little bit, just to get a feel for like, what am I not seeing when I'm tanking, you know? Level to Shaman for healing was a great idea. Just for fun though, maybe not for M+ or anything. Shaman's just the healer that makes the most sense to me. It's like, every spell has a very clear niche, and you know what it does, and you know what you need to use it for. At least that's what it's historically been. Obviously I haven't touched it in War Within yet. Playing a healer definitely made me stand in less when I was in DPS. Yeah. Yeah, you quickly gain some sympathy for how it feels to heal a bunch of Zugzugs. Thuriel, thank you for the YouTube sub. Really appreciate it. Also up my interrupt game on tanks and DPS. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. This boss is going to absolutely farm pugs week 1. Like, I think people are woefully underprepared for how hard this boss is on Mythic Plus. And I'm not confident that Mythic Zeros are going to put how difficult it can be on display. Throughput is very close on all. Pally feels satisfying upon playstyle, but Totemic Shaman can do wonders. Cool. Yeah, this boss was gnarly. This killed so many pugs on beta that I was trying to do. I think we spent an entire night of stream on beta at one point trying to kill this boss, and basically like groups just fell apart after 2 or 3 attempts, and we didn't get it down. H-Priest in the right hands is strong. Nice. The priest in our group here has been a priest main for like I don't know, 15 plus years probably. He's really, really good. Did I not get... Okay, I thought I got that group. Main and Mistweaver in Shadowlands is by far the primo raid healer. I feel like Mistweaver usually has really strong HPS, right? It's just like the lack of key utility that it often brings. I do think... Well, two things that are going to be really, really important this season are poison dispels and curse dispels. There's some nasty poisons in like 4 or 5 of the dungeons, and there's some curses that like you kind of need dispels for in Stone Vault and also Grim Batol. So that could give a bit of an edge to Shaman, because I think Druid's HPS is just lagging behind right now. But yeah, Shamans they're just straight up Curse Dispel and then Poison Cleansing Totem. They can do some really, really nice stuff in the seasonal dungeons. That was a bad place to drop JP's Spear. Ooh, Dispel got a hole on it. Actually, you know what I could do? I could just upgrade this belt all the way to 586 for just Valor Stones and keep the socket. I think I'm going to do that. Get a little gemstone, a little gem. And then once we get some weathered crests next week, we can use those on it if we need to. Probably won't send those right away next week. We'll see what else we get. Also see how much like Valor farming I actually want to do. Apart from me, Shaman doesn't have that feel-good playstyle. I mean, that makes a big difference, right? If you don't enjoy the playstyle, then like it's just not fun to play it, right? Just endless totems. It's like we're fighting a bunch of shamans. Feels clunky to you? That's fair. If it doesn't feel like it plays well, then like, yeah, that's a good reason to not play it. I saw a clip, I think it was on Twitter today, of someone getting the circle on this boss and running straight into one of the like void zones. We thought that was what we had to do to clear it. Or they just weren't paying attention when they were running. It was pretty funny. Alright, I think that's my last dungeon for tonight. I think I'm going to go ahead and end stream there. I do have a couple of videos that I want to put some work on tonight. Hopefully we can get one of them posted for you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out and chatting. Really appreciate it every time you guys are here. You're making streaming a much more enjoyable experience, and I really, really appreciate the community that we're building. I will catch you guys all in the next stream, which I'm planning to be tomorrow night. So I will see you then. Farewell, friends.